like I was always interested in clothing. You know, I always wanted to design clothing, and I don't really have much of a fashion background. I haven't gone to fashion school. Maybe in the future, but for right now, it's nothing that I'm looking into. But yeah, that's it. I mean, look, I've been out of school for about 3 years now, trying to, you know, do my own thing, pave my own way, and that's really what I try to incorporate in the brand. You know, like when I talk about the Magnolia and the road, it's like walking your own path, you know, and it's like sometimes you just kind of have to put your head down and trudge through it. It's hard, it's tough, but the Magnolia is like the light at the end of the tunnel, you know. It's like, it's that kind of, that beauty you're working for, you know. And so that's it. I mean, what I try to incorporate is like, it may not be showing right away in the designs, but what I want to work towards is more of a dark and light aesthetic. And because, like, you know, you speak to anyone starting a clothing brand, and it's the same thing. It's really hard. It's really tough. You know, like you're basically telling people, this is who I am. This is me. You know, and this is what I like. And people can either say, yeah, it's sick, or it's like, nah, it sucks. You know. So you're constantly taking beatings like that, and you have to keep your head up and just kind of keep walking forward. You know, that's the, again, going back to the Magnolia Road, you know, walking down that road, it's going to be tough, but you got to just keep going through it, you know.
And on this road, do you take this criticism lightly, or do you try to incorporate it into your next collection?
I mean, I'm very hard on myself. I'm kind of a perfectionist, so obviously I don't take it lightly. I take it very personal, which I shouldn't, but, you know, it is what it is. But I think, you know, coming back to the collection, the release of the Heating Up release, it's like, that's kind of me saying, like, this is it, you know, like, I'm making, because a lot of the times people kind of have a first go at it and they realize that they're not making money and, you know, things aren't working, and so they just give up. And it's like, this was kind of my response to say, look, guys, like, you know, this is gonna work. It's heating up. We're gonna keep pushing, you know. And so yeah, I mean, look, like, to answer your question a bit better, like I said, I'm hard on myself, but I try to take criticism lightly and use it to better my situation, you know. It's only been about a year that I've been doing this, and in a year I've gone through, you know, different partners, learned a lot, and, you know, taken a lot of hits and stuff. So it's really just learning short term. I want to learn as much as I can. I want to kind of take in as much as I can within the industry. And long term, I mean, look, this is something that if it works out well, I'd like to make it a career.
Do you believe, like, as your style changes, the Magnolia brand will change with you, or is it going to be like frozen in time?
Yeah, I mean, no, 100%. That's one thing that I try to incorporate in the design. You know, like, my interests are always changing, so it's never going to be like, you know, I'm printing, I'm a skateboard brand, or I'm this type of brand, whatever. It's like really based on my inspirations and based on what I like at the moment. Yeah, and it's funny now that I start thinking about it more and more, you know, like, as the brand is developing. It's kind of corny, but if you think about it, like, the growth of a flower, the growth of a magnolia, you know, like, it develops and changes and things like that. So those are all things that I try to incorporate in the looks, you know. But yeah, no, for sure, it's 100% based on my personal style. At the moment, I'm a little limited with my resources, just because it's obviously tough starting out at the beginning. But I hope to, as I grow, I hope to really come out with crazy stuff, you know, like, as
your resources get bigger.
Exactly, my resources get bigger. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, the Walking Man. What I tried to do with that was actually, it was an image that I had in my head before I started Magnolia Road, and it actually worked really well because the Walking Man, it's like a symbol of him walking down the road, right? And like the theme behind Magnolia Road is that, you know, like, it's taking on your own projects, walking your own path, your own road in life, you know. So that's why I found it worked really well. I didn't actually want it to work that way. It was like a design I had in my head, and then the name kind of came afterwards. But yeah, I mean, look, the first collection, like I said, I tried to make the Walking Man more of a distinctive logo for the brand. So it's for sure going to come back in the future. But yeah, no, like the first release was more kind of me testing the waters.
Right.
We used the Road Rage logo, and that kind of played in well with the design of the Walking Man itself. And then we saw that things were picking up, there was a good response. So then came the Reflecto pack, which I wasn't going to come out with something else just to kind of build off of what I just dropped. I wanted to come out with something exclusive to change the pace of the game and kind of show something new. You know, there's not a lot of new brands that come out and drop a 3M pack right away.
Yeah.
You know, but also the reason why I really enjoy 3M is because when I was younger, I used to bike a lot at night. So obviously, when you're biking at night, you know, like it's you want to be
like a safety.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, but again, like I used to wear 3M a lot when I would bike and all that stuff. So, and then that was okay. So there was the first one, then there was that. Then the summer release was just kind of a restock, the long sleeves, just to kind of get people a second taste of what's coming. And then I dropped the heating up pack, well, the heating up release that just dropped recently. And that was the inspiration, I guess, kind of just to show people that like things are getting hot, things are kind of heating up, and you know, this is the release, but there's more to come. You know, and just to kind of build a bit of hype behind the brand too. Right. And it was also just a design that I really liked. One of my friends actually, when he first saw the Magnolia design that we had, he said, "Wow, wouldn't it be sick if it was on fire?" And I was like, "Sure, that would be a sick design," you know. So I got it done, and then I just incorporated it into the whole thing. Well, actually, that's actually a funny story because we initially wanted to do it in Depanneur, just to kind of touch home and really show the essence of Montreal, you know.
And for the people who don't know, where are you guys from exactly in Montreal?
Well, I'm based in Montreal West, so the west of the island. But yeah, I guess I could say based in Montreal West.
And then the laundromat was a reflection
so
of
that's
your...
it. We initially wanted to do it in the Depanneur, and we were just kind of going into different Depanneurs, like asking, hey, like, would it be cool to shoot in your place? And most of them just kind of kicked us out. They laughed at us, and they were just like, there's no way you could do a full shoot. And looking back on it, I was like, yeah, like, we take up a lot of space when we do a shoot, so it would be really hard to fit in the depth. Yeah. I was kind of just walking in NEG, and I found this laundromat, and I walked in, and I was like, wow, this is perfect. You know? It honestly depends. I mean, sometimes, you know, you see an idea and something pops up in your head, you put it down, you draw it, and then, you know, you convert it to, you put it on a program, and you're like, wow, this works probably really well, you know. But sometimes you're like, okay, well, you're kind of going on and on at it, it's not working, you got to change it up, and sometimes you got to scrap the whole idea, and then sometimes, you know, you're tweaking it for a couple months, and it works, you know. Just like for now, I'm working on my summer stuff, just some summer designs, and some of them won't even be ready for summer, you know. So it's like you got to push it to the next season or the next drop, and it's like it's okay because in a sense it's not like I don't want to push stuff out just to make money, you know. I'm not just pushing stuff out to say, okay, I need to have stuff selling. You know, I want it to be perfect. I want it to be the right message when it comes out, you know.